Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing? I don't know why. I just had the random impulse to come on here and say hi. Totally random. This wasn't planned out. I was just that, sometimes when universe wants you to do something, you just get that impulse like do this. And I've learned to not question that. So, who knows? But let's get on here and make some noise. This is going to be kind of like the other day. Here in 30 minutes, I'm going to have to leave y'all hanging and run down the hall to get the kiddos up. So, oh, that's right. They don't have school today. They're going to daycare. Okay. Well, never mind. Maybe I can stay on here for the full hour. Anyway, I don't know why I'm on here. What's up, y'all? How you doing? Hey, y'all doing? I'm sore. I'm gonna talk about it a little bit. Man, I've been bodybuilding. Like I said, my fitness journey has taken a fun turn here for the past month or so, and now I'm officially bodybuilding. So we shredded off a bunch of my body fat, and that took about a year. It took about a year to shred off all that fat, and then now we're bodybuilding, and this is something totally different, dude. Because we gotta activate certain muscles in order to target certain muscle groups. We got to activate them. You know, 'cause there's a lot of muscles in there that we got to get turned on that aren't being used. You know, and I got a couple of my back muscles. These ones right here that hadn't been activated. So pulling, you got to go and pull. It hurts just doing that, dude. Pulling to get these back muscles activated, and they're finally activated and turned on. And it's a painful process. It's painful. It hurts, but it's fun though. It's fun, man. It's fun. I like transformation. I like transformation. It's fun stuff. Anyway, though, what's up, y'all? How you doing? I'm sore. I'm hurting. Today's my rest day, though, and I'm still probably going to run a few miles at least. Still probably going to run a few miles. Still got to at least get something in. Like I said, I used to talk about this all the time, and then I took a break from talking about it because I don't know. I just didn't want to. I know I repeat myself a lot when it comes to a lot of things. I didn't want to burn y'all out on that. But yeah, it's getting to the point now where I'm kind of starting to get a little bit addicted to it, dude. A little bit addicted to it. It's the only thing that makes me feel normal anymore. It's another one of the reasons why you'll see me go public on my other channel in the evening. It's because it's right after I get home from the gym. I'll go to the gym, I'll get me a good hard workout in, and then I'll get home, jump straight in the shower, and then I'm like, yeah, and it gets me pumped for the rest of the evening, you know? Anyway. Oh no, I don't man, them massages hurt, dude. Whew, them massages hurt. I don't know, it might be different now though. The last time I had that done is when I was living up in Idaho, and I was pretty fat. I was pretty fat back then too. So, but man, last time I got one of them things done, ooh. Well, no, we did go and get a massage last summer, but it wasn't like deep tissue. You know what I mean? But last time I had one of them deep tissue, oh, that shit hurts. Oh, that shit hurts. That was painful, man. That shit was painful. Wasn't very enjoyable. And for me, it was almost like that pain lasted for like days, man. You know, you would think that at some point that pain would wear off and it would be like, yeah, okay, that feels good. No, it gets all the toxins. It pushes all the toxins out of your muscles, makes you feel sick. It feels like flu-like symptoms, you know? I'd be getting like flu-like symptoms, like in my head and shit. Like, I didn't like it. I didn't like that. That wasn't fun. That wasn't fun. Yeah, well, I don't know. I think it's really easy for Aquarians also to be lazy. I've met a lot of lazy ass Aquarians, you know? Of course, I think if I remember correctly, the last Aquarian that I met that was really lazy, I think was a double Aquarius though. You know, you don't want too much of one element, I don't think. You know that we all know that person that's too much of one element, you know? And if you're too much air, you don't want too much air, I don't think. Air is a good element. It is good, but I don't know if you want too much of it, you know? I got all that earth. I think it's my Virgo energy that keeps me going at the gym, man. Because I can get me done some hard work. Yep. hmm that's all my earth energy right there, dude. And I've always utilized that even before I really even knew too much about it. I would always utilize that at the workplace. I can double down and get some work done. Oh, you best bet your damn skippy ass. If when it comes down to it, especially physical hard work, I can double down and give me some hard manual work done. You know, like hard, heavy lifting jobs. And back in the day, that used to kind of be the only jobs I ever would get. When I was a teenager, yeah, I had a lot of like little Joe jobs at restaurants and shit. You know, worked at a bunch of pizza places, worked at a few restaurants, worked at Advanced Auto Parts when I was in my early 20s as a cashier, you know. But for the very most part, the majority of the jobs that I've done have been like hard work, hard, heavy lifting, you know, beat you down. You got to go home and just lay down and you're paralyzed and can't move at the end of the day type shit, you know. Wake up the next morning, can't even get up out of bed. You're so sore. Go back to work and do it again. That's what I did most of my adult life. Most of my pretty much all throughout my 20s. You know, I mean, I always worked when I got sick, Sarah. I always did. I never let that stop me. Never, ever, ever let that stop me. I can count on one hand the number of times that I was too sick to work. And it would have to be like a stomach flu. The only way you could get me to not work is if I'm got stuff flying out one end or the other, you know, like if I had a stomach flu and I'm puking or shitting on myself or something like that, then that would be the only way you could keep me from working. But flu, cold, pneumonia, I worked through it. I'll just work through it. I almost died one time doing that. I almost died one time doing that because I was working outdoors. I was working outdoors, loading and unloading airplanes at UPS. I would pull all the packages and stuff off the plane. The plane would fly in, and we would go up in the plane and get all the packages off. And it was an outdoor job, and it was during the wintertime. During the wintertime, and I got pneumonia, and I just kept working and working and working and working and working and working and working. Finally, I ended up going to the doctor, and he said, dude, if you keep doing this, you ain't gonna wake up. You're gonna kill yourself." The doctor said, "Stop, stop, and let yourself heal." And I was like, "Okay, all right, then." So, but not most of the time, I would always work through being sick. I always would. That's just me, though. I've never, man, I never liked being that person that called in for anything. I never liked being that person, you know? Because when you're at the workplace, there's always that person that fucking calls in every other day. And it's just like, man, you a lazy ass. You know, you always think that. Who knows if it's legit or not? But me, I would always think you a fucking lazy ass. Man, you a lazy ass. You can find a way to get here. That's just the way I would always think about it. I could be wrong. I could have been judging them wrong. I'm open to that. But that's just always where my mind would immediately go. And I never like being that person. Never like being that person. I'll never call in, you know. I would always show up early, stay later, get more work done. I'm not sure my Mercury and Mars, honestly. Actually, I think if I remember correctly, I think my Mercury is Aquarius and my Mars is Saggy. I got like 4 or 5 planets in Saggy. 4 or 5 of them. I just don't remember what they are. Don't remember what they are. But anyway. Anywho. Well, I think it's any of the earth signs really are very business minded or work minded. Any of the earth signs, that earthy energy is very prone to be business or money or work oriented. But yeah, typically Virgo energy is much more like physical. I don't know the word that I'm looking for. I don't know the word that I'm looking for, but get something done like a physical. And just the other night, I was watching Michael Jackson. He was a Virgo, wasn't he? I'm 98% sure Michael Jackson was a Virgo. And you can tell. You can tell. You look at his routine, his dance routine, bam, he nailed the same. It's just like, dude, that's how Virgo energy works right there. Yeah, he was. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, when it comes to a physical activity and doing something physical, like fucking perfect, that's Virgo energy right there. Yep. Oh. So anyway, yeah, and that's my moon and rising. Moon and rising. That's why I'm like, and that's the funny thing too, because when it comes to the physical aspect of what I do, there's very little that's physical. Very, very little that's physical. But you notice I'm kind of picky and particular about the way I shuffle, you know? Very picky and very particular. I probably set for mm, probably the majority of the time me learning the tarot, I spent probably 2 or 3 months just playing around with different shuffling techniques. Just until I could. That's the next video I need to put on Instagram too, by the way. But different shuffling techniques to figure out how the cards are speaking to me. You know. Well, Vin Diesel's a Virgo too. Okay. Do 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 do. Yeah, shuffling isn't the easiest thing. You just got to sit and practice it. You got to sit and practice it. I remember the girl I was dating when I very first started playing with tarot cards. It would drive her nuts because I just sit around and shuffle for the hell of it, and I'll still do that to this day. I'll still do that to this day. That's why I don't have any cards near me right now. If I had a deck right here, I'd be sitting here shuffling them, playing with them, shuffling them, playing with them, and I would just sit and do that for hours. Not even pulling cards, just shuffling them and playing with them, and shuffling them and playing with them. You know. Well, there's lots of cards out there that are real thin for people with small hands. Real thin. I think the Gilded Tarot would be a good one for that. Get you one of the Gilded Tarot. That one's this card. I mean, they're not like small, but they're not as big, and they're thin. They're real easy. But anyway, man, I'm sore. I don't know why I'm on here. I don't know why I jumped on here this morning. I don't know why I jumped on here, man. Oh, I don't know why. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't like those mini decks. I really don't. Mm-mm. I don't like the little poker size decks. Anytime I ever order one, like if I'm on Etsy or something like that, and I see a real cool deck and I order it, it pisses me off so bad. Like I got one too. It's over there somewhere over here. I got one that it's real badass artwork, but the cards are little tiny. And I'm like, I can't shuffle that. I'll give it to my kids. I'll give it to my kids. I don't like them little teeny ones. But anywho. Talk about how I healed from the narcissist. Well, I mean, all healing's the same, really. I think. Again, I use my 3 steps to healing. My 3 steps to healing. What did I learn about myself? How do I use what I learned about myself and start applying it? And then once that starts producing changes in my life, I take those changes in my life and I tie them to that person. And now I assign that connection a meaning, you know? When it comes to healing from just about anything that happens, you always want to start looking at your life and looking at things in your life and tying them to that person. I'm looking for positive things in my life that would not be if that person hadn't made their way into my life. It's just a connect the dots game, really. To me, healing from anything, it's a connect the dots game. Because I use that. I haven't used that analogy in a while, but like your life is like a connect the dots puzzle. It really is. Every little experience, every little thing that happens in your life is like a connect the dots puzzle that forms this really cool picture, you know. And the problem is, we'll get to a dot we don't like, and we don't want to accept that dot. And then we'll get to another dot we don't like, and we don't want to accept that dot. And then we'll look back, and the picture of our life looks fucked up. It looks incomplete. It looks incomplete because we've skipped over too many dots. We haven't accepted that as part of the picture. That makes sense? But no, healing from a real narcissist, a real one, that takes time. That takes some time, boy. First of all, first thing you have to develop is the strength. The first thing you have to develop is the strength to get out of their grip. That's the first thing you have to develop. The strength to get out of their grip and stand your ground. Because the first thing that they do, they're real fucking good at jumping straight into your heart center and attaching in here. That's what they're real good at. They're real fucking good at studying your emotions. They study you on a level that is much, much deeper. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with studying people like that. But then they start using that against you, you know? They'll start twisting and poking at your emotions without you knowing it, because they're studying you on an emotional level that's deeper than what your average person does. Your average normal person that doesn't need to manipulate people, you know, doesn't normally bother studying people on a level that deep unless you're just curious. I'd do it. If you're curious, you can study people on a level that deep, just as long as you're just stepping back, just observing, like, that's interesting. But no, that's not what the narcissist does. The narcissist will study you on that level to think, all right, now I'm gonna study your every little emotional reaction to everything. And I'm taking notes, and I'm gonna start using that. So that you're their puppet. You're their puppet. All I got to do is pull a string, and they get a reaction out of you. You know? And they can pull the littlest string and get a reaction out of you. And it makes you look like the crazy person. It makes you look like the bad guy, you know? You have to develop the strength to not let those little tugs and pulls get reactions out of you. You know, you got to develop the strength to keep your mind on track. No, this is what we're talking about. No. I don't care about that. We ain't talking about the past. We're not talking about what I said last week. We're talking about this, you know, because they'll try to pull your mind off in all these different directions. That's a big thing narcissists like to do. They like to bring up something from the past that has nothing to fucking do with what you're talking about. Oh yeah, well, you remember last week when you did that? Blah, 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 blah. We ain't talking about last week. We're talking about this. Oh, what about that? No. We're not talking about that. We're not. That's not. Stay on track. They will try to pull your mind off in all these different directions, you know, and then get you confused. Because if you don't know how to stay on track, they'll have you defending yourself over something that has nothing to fucking do with what you all were talking about to begin with. You know, the minute you start winning the argument with facts, they'll pull the argument over here in this direction, you know, and you got to develop the strength. It takes strength and focus. It's like spiritual, emotional, and psychological fitness, working out, you know. So that's one of the first things you have to develop. And then after you develop that strength, then it's a waiting game. You know, it's a waiting game. Let them go talk. Let them go spread their little rumors. Let them go try to put your name in the dirt. Let them do it. Let anybody that believes it want to believe it. I'm going to tell you what happens. I promise you. If you have the strength to stand your ground, you'll have people coming to you 6 months down the line, a year down the line, 2 years down the line. Yo, man, I should have listened to you when it came to that person. I see the truth now. The truth will always end up bubbling up. It will. Oh, yeah. Always. It will always end up bubbling up. Yep. No, it's everywhere. They're in families. They're everywhere. I've met in my life 3 real ones, real narcissists, you know. I've met 3. And you know what? This is going to sound bad. This is going to sound bad, but they were all the same zodiac sign too. And I'm not saying that this zodiac sign is narcissistic, but it just so happens that every narcissist I've ever met was all the same zodiac sign. You know what sign that is? Guess. Guess what sign it was. Y'all take a guess? Yes, Pisces. Yes, yes. Yes, Pisces. Pisces. And I'm not saying Pisces are narcissists. That's not what I'm saying. That is not what I'm saying at all. When you say something like that, you usually offend people. I'm not saying that Pisces are narcissists. That's not what I'm saying. But all 3 narcissists that I've been close to and known personally were all Pisces. Yes, they were. Yep. Yep. The very first guess hit it on the head right there. That's funny. Yeah, that's funny. But no, I have met some super fucking cool ass Pisces people too. Super fucking cool. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it is hilarious. That's funny. Yeah, I could see how. Well, I do know one person. I do know one person that I suspect to possibly be a narcissist, but I don't know them that well. That is a Cancer. Yeah. But I don't know them well enough to be able to like say, but this person does do things that are extremely narcissistic. That's the thing. That's what bothers me about it. That's what bothers me about it, is that people like to slap that label on anybody, on anybody, because the psychological community has taken the narcissistic personality disorder and said, all right, we need to keep people coming back. We need to invent something else in this game of psychology and putting things in boxes. So how about we make narcissism on a spectrum, and any of these personality traits, you're a narcissist. Well, you could call anybody a narcissist. You know what I mean? You could call anybody a narcissist. I don't play that game. I don't play that fucking game. Every last one of us, I think, has all done things that are narcissistic in nature, and we've all had little personality traits that you know what I'm saying? But I don't play that game where if somebody does something narcissistic, then you slap the narcissist label on them. No. So this person that I'm thinking about, though, there are some things that I've seen this person do that are very narcissistic in nature, but I haven't observed this person enough to be able to say that you're a fucking true blue narcissist. You know what I mean? And yes, this person was a Cancer, but I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that ego. That's something. Oh, you got a big ego? You're a narcissist. No, they're not. Oh, you don't have any empathy? You're a narcissist. No, they're not. Like, you know what? A good 90% of the people that I've heard other people call narcissists, they're not narcissists. They're just assholes. There's a difference between a narcissist and an asshole or a bitch. You know what I mean? No, she ain't no narcissist. She's just a bitch. There's a difference between, you know what I mean? So, yeah, no, I was just saying that to somebody the other day, that you don't want to let one sign ruin it for that whole sign. You don't want to do that. We have a habit of that. We do have a habit of that. We do have a habit. You have one bad experience with a sign and you want to slap that label on every single sign. And at the end of the day, the only thing the astrological sign is an energy. That's all it is. It's an energy governing an entity. I don't even want to say governing, because that still gives it a lot of power over you. It's influencing you. It's an energy that's influencing you. Does that make sense? It's an energy that's influencing an entity that is a being of consciousness. Does that make sense? So, yeah, I've met some super cool ass Pisces people. Super fucking cool. Super cool. But it just so happens that the 3 people I've met that I would seriously slap that label on were all Pisces. Yes, they were. Guarantee you there's some narcissist Aquarians out there. Guarantee you there's some narcissist Virgos and Aries. They come in all signs. It's not a sign thing, I don't think, I don't really think it's a sign thing, something that you can categorize with astrology. I don't think really. But here's the thing about Pisces energy, though. Pisces energy is a very, very, very advanced energy. I think that that's one of those energies that it is very advanced, and it's a difficult energy to learn how to master. It's a very difficult energy. So that's why a lot of the beings and the entities who are being strongly influenced by that energy struggle with it because it's very, very advanced and it's very difficult to master the behavior of that energy. Does that make sense? That's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it. I personally look at it like it is our duty as individuals, as beings of consciousness and light, to understand the energies that are governing us and learn how to master them. Learn how to master them. Because the minute you begin to do that, the minute I begin to say, oh, okay, well, I understand how Aquarius energy influences me. And I start to look at it from that perspective. Now I'm vibrating higher than it. And I, the being of consciousness that I am, is using Aquarius energy. Aquarius energy isn't dragging me around making decisions for me. I'm using it the way that I want to. That makes sense? That's the way I look at it. So I don't care what your sign is. I don't care if you're an Aquarius, Aries, Scorpio, or Leo. I believe that it is our job to say, okay, this is how this energy works, and this is how I can use it. This is how I can use this energy. Not use the energy to make excuses for your shitty behavior. I think we've all done that too. I know I have. I know I have, but anyway, though. Yeah, my ears constantly ring. Constantly. Constantly. It drives me nuts. They're ringing right now. There's always a ring in my ears. Always. It is so annoying, dude. So annoying. Do 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 do. So anyway, from working at FedEx, it was UPS. I worked at UPS. Yeah, I worked around all those planes, those big jet engines. Yeah, I don't know though. I don't know. Nobody wore earplugs out there. You can't, man. You got to hear everybody else talking to you. That's the thing that would drive me nuts. The safety people will come out and make sure you're wearing your earplugs. It's like, dude, if I can't work, if I'm wearing my earplugs, I have to be able to hear what people are saying, and I have to be able to talk to everybody and communicate and be able to hear what's coming in all the vehicles. I can't walk around with earplugs in my ear. That's stupid, you know? So anywho, yeah, that's all I hear is high pitched noise. That's all I hear. It's really, it's like real high pitch, and it's a constant ring, and it waits until I'm like live reading cards, and then like it'll be one ear that goes right when I'm live. And do you know how it makes my whole head zing, and I'm like and I try to hold it together and not act stupid because I'm live with the fucking 1,000 people watching me or whatever. You know, it always waits till I'm live. Like the other night, happened the other night. I got 1,200 people watching me, and then all of a sudden, wow! I'm like, ooh, I try to play it off, but it literally zings my whole head, and it almost makes me dizzy. I just wish it would quit, though. I wish it would quit. I wish that I don't know, man. I wish like my body and the vibration would match so the ringing would quit. It's annoying. It's super annoying. Man, I can't wait till the med beds come out. That's the first thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be like, man, fix my ears. Fix my ears, you know. I have asked my guides. I've done all that. I've heard that like what Dolores Cannon will say, just tell them to turn it down. I do, and they don't. It didn't work. They don't turn it down. It doesn't go away. It doesn't stop ringing. It doesn't quit. It's annoying, man. And I've met a lot of people who well, not a lot, but I've met a couple of people who say that they can actually like that they can decipher in that ringing what message is being sent to them. I can't. It just sounds like a ring. It sounds like a real annoying ass ring, you know? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with me. I don't know. I know that I'm a volunteer here on Earth. I know that much. Don't have too many human lives. Not very many. Not very many. Let's get this show on the road, man. Let's get it going. Let's get the new system rolling. Let's get it rolling. No, I don't go to doctors. Actually, I did. Yeah, I did go to the doctor for my ears when I was like 13. I did. And they told me I had inner ear nerve loss. And the only way to fix the problem was to get hearing aids implanted in my fucking skull. And I was like, fuck you. No. It scared me. I was like, nope, I'm not doing that. I ain't doing that. But now, my biggest thing that I'm into now, like when it comes to any sort of metaphysical manifestation, my biggest thing that I've been into now, I've already figured out the energy of money. I've figured out the energy of romance and all that. You know, I teach that all the time. But now my biggest thing that I'm into is self-healing. That's my next big venture. That's my next big venture is self-healing, healing myself, you know? And I know what my problem is with my ears. I think I do. It's that I don't like listening to people, you know, because they talk about whatever physical problem you're going through, it's your body telling you something. You're telling yourself something. You manifest it for yourself, and it's usually very, very literal and straightforward. You know, you usually don't want to overcomplicate it. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, your back, when you have back problems, it's because I feel like I'm carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders, you know, or people that have, like, you listen to Julia Cannon and Dolores Cannon talk about this stuff, and it's usually like really straightforward and direct. And with your ears, it's usually if there's something you don't want to hear. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to listen to that. And I've had an issue with listening to people and being stubborn and hard headed. You know, that's the big thing about self healing is you got to get honest and real with yourself. And that's been my biggest thing that I've been working on over the past couple of years is self healing, getting honest and real with myself. You know, and that's the hardest part about the journey, the evolution journey. But I just don't really seem to be. I've learned how to heal a lot of things. Like anytime if I say, for example, if I manifest a little earache or a toothache or something like that, I've been real good at figuring that out and figuring, you know, or if I manifest, like say, a little stomach bug, get diarrhea or something like that. I'm good at figuring that out and figuring out how to heal it and move on from it. But these damn ears, man, that's the hardest part. That's the hardest thing. I hear it right now. And it's both ears, high pitch, figuring out how to get to the bottom of that. So anyway, that's my next big thing. And I really don't even feel comfortable talking about it yet because I don't feel like I know enough about it. I don't feel like I know enough about it. I'm one of those people. I am one of those people that I don't like to talk about something until I have done so much work and research. Before, you know, do you know how long a concept bakes in the oven before I put it out in the public for people to view? When I talk about something, especially the things that I talk about, these are concepts I've been working on and thinking about and researching and studying and practicing and using for years and years and years. You know, I'm not one of those people that just gets an idea and spits it out my mouth, you know, not one of those people. So when it comes to the whole self-healing thing, I don't even feel very comfortable talking about it yet because I've only been on that little path for like maybe a year or two, maybe not even 2 years yet. And to me, that's not long enough to bring it to the public and talk about it, you know? Yeah, I'm a fixed sign. Well, actually, yeah, fixed signs do hate to be wrong, but I'm to the point now where I actually enjoy being wrong. You know, I like it after a certain point. that cognitive dissonance feeling will start to become addictive. It'll start to become addictive. Once you set off down the path of, I don't know what I want to call it, evolution, ascension, you start setting off down that path of changing your life, the path of transformation. Let's just put it that way. You start to kind of realize that that cognitive dissonance feeling plays a tremendous role, because you have to be able to take your way of thinking, your way of feeling, and flip it around and get it in going in another direction. So I have to be willing to take a belief that I've been holding on to, holding very near and dear to my heart, and change that belief. You know, I have to be willing to admit I'm wrong. Well, why the fuck would I do that? That's why people like me, especially, I think fixed signs go through this a lot more than other signs. Why would I do that? Because I've been holding on to that belief so tightly for so many years that it's basically got me to the point of life or death. It's to the point where you either cling to this belief and you keep thinking and acting this way, or you change this belief and get up out of this mess that you're in. And then once you start walking that path, it gets kind of addictive. Like, that's cool. You start to see the results in your life. Let me change this belief of mine to something new. And then once you change that belief, whoa, that's cool. And you see how it changes your life. You see the results in your life. Then it kind of becomes a little bit addictive. It becomes addictive. That's why it's to the point now where I wouldn't really say that I hate being wrong. If you can come to me and provide me with some rock solid evidence that I'm wrong about something, I love that feeling. I love that. I love that. What I don't like is people like you, when you get people who will come in and attack you because they have an opinion, you know, just because they have an opinion, and they'll attack you for it. That's stupid. I ain't even listening. That's when I'll be like, just shut up and get out of my face. Not listening I will turn it off. You know, if you can come to me and you say, hey, look, I know you said this, but I experienced this and I met this person and I saw this, then I'll be like, oh, really? For real though? Like you saw it, you were there, you met this person. What happened? Am I wrong about that? Like if you come to me with some sound, look, I've been here, I've met this person, I've seen this, like hands-on. I love that. I love being proven wrong like that. I love that feeling. But when you know what I mean, most people don't do that. Most people, they just come out throwing turds. You know what I mean? Just throwing turds, just throwing their shitty opinions just because they're idiots. You know, that's what's annoying. That's what's annoying. You know. Yeah, I know. Your average person doesn't have proof or valid arguments. Yeah. That is true. That is true. Usually they don't. Usually they don't. Usually they don't. That's the hard part. That's the hard part about it. That's why it gets to a point. And when you get people that think like that, that's the problem too. It's like, if you think like that, I can't argue with you or teach you anything. If you think like that, when people think like that, you can't provide them with any evidence that supports anything. You can't. They'll deny it. They'll just deny it because they don't want to believe it, you know? So that's the frustrating part about the day and age that we're in right now, you know? Mm-hmm. Like people in the truth community, like me, you know, and that's the reason why, well, I've talked about this, but that's the reason why I don't push real hard to be a part of the truth community, because all I can really do is validate everything that the conspiracy theorists are saying is true. The difference between me and your average conspiracy theorist is that I didn't get any of my information from listening to other conspiracy theorists and people who hate the global elite. That's not where I got my information from. I got most of my information from friends of the global elite. Friends. I personally met and been in the same room with friends of the global elite. I've heard them brag about the plan and laugh about how stupid and easily manipulated people are. So you want to talk about some hands-on, face-to-face experience? Yeah, that's where I'm coming from. That's where I'm coming from. But again, the only thing that I can really do is tell you, yep, what this person's saying is true. Yep. That's all I can really do, you know? hmm Oh, they've already gone down. Don't worry about that. That's the annoying part that we're in right now. They've already gone down. Don't worry about it. hmm The hardest thing to do is just take your focus away from it. That's hard. That's even hard for me. I'm struggling with that. I'm struggling with that. Just pulling your focus away from it and enjoying your life. That's hard to do. That's the biggest challenge I think that we have right now. That's the biggest challenge that we have is we create and co-create reality together. So the best thing that we can do, unless you are one of those people who is on the front lines, unless you're one of those people who is on the front lines, um, the best thing that we can do is focus our attention on creating that world that we want. And a lot of it has to do with pulling our focus away from the bad things and pulling our focus away from waiting for this to happen or waiting for that to happen. So that's where I've been focusing. So anyway, again, I don't know. I'm getting real flirtatious with the subject matter here on YouTube. I've heard lots of rumors that the good guys are now either in control or have a very strong influence. But I can't. Well, I guess I have a couple of ways that I could confirm that, but there's been some people who are huge in the truth community who were deplatformed from YouTube, who YouTube came back and gave them their channel back and apologized to them. I don't know if y'all heard about that recently. I don't know if y'all heard about that. Some of the biggest names, one of the hugest, arguably, I think the biggest icon in the truth community now. I'll give you a hint. It's a bald, chubby British guy that lives in Spain. I personally feel like he is the biggest name in the truth community. He was given his YouTube channel back and they apologized to him. So if y'all know who I'm talking about. Anyway, he's the guy we all love. No. But anyway. Yeah, that's what I was feeling. Yeah, there is a reason I was drawn to getting on here. Oh, that's the reason? Oh. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I wasn't planning on getting on here and talking this morning. I was just sitting here waking up like I always do. This is my spot. This is what I do. I get up in the morning. As soon as my eyes register that light's coming through the windows, I pop awake, get up, put my shirt on, put my hat on, put my frequency bracelet on, go down, make my coffee in the kitchen, come up and sit here on my couch in my studio and sit and play around on the internet while I'm waking up. That's my morning routine every morning. And then I just had this loud, get on there and talk, get on there and talk. I was like, I don't know why. I don't know why. Yeah, I used to keep it as a weekend thing. I used to. I've been changing up. See, here's the thing, man. When you're doing like what I do for a living, I can't really speak for any other YouTuber, any other career YouTuber, but me as a career YouTube tarot card reader, um, I've always had to like make my own routine, you know? Because when you're your own boss, you got to set the routine and the schedule. And maybe this is my Virgo energy talking, but I always like to have a routine. So I'll make me a routine, just to kind of still be in that vibe of, okay, I got to get up at this time. I got to do this at this time. I got to do that at this time. And you see what I'm saying? And yeah. I'm changing up my routine, I guess. I don't know. Leah's up. All right. Anywho, but anyway, I don't even remember what I was talking about. I lost my train of thought. Hmm. Oop, there goes my alarm. Anyway, I'm making a new routine. Making a new routine. Does this group chat what? Facebook? I mean, I could chat on other platforms, I guess. I guess I could. I don't know. Yes, there you go, Betty. Yeah, there you go. Charlie. He's our favorite, man. My favorite, at least. Charlie and Simon. I love those two, man. I love them. Simon's a Virgo. Charlie's a Gemini. Yeah, man. Yep. Love Charlie. And I was thinking too, I wouldn't mind doing an interview with him. I wouldn't mind doing an interview with him, but I'm not going to push for it. I'm not going to push for it. He does have a YouTube tarot reader that he has done lots of interviews with, and I'm like, man, I wonder if I should. And I step back and I'm like, no, I'm not going to push for that. If the universe feels like that I'm needed in that circle of people, the universe will guide me there. You know, I could be wrong, but I have the feeling that I'm not needed there. I have the feeling that I'm not really needed there. I do have some things that I could teach that would be handy, but I just have this real strong feeling. I don't know how to explain it, but the universe is like, we don't need you there right now. We need you here. So I don't know how to put into words how I know that I'm not needed there. Make sense? We don't need you right there. Maybe one of these days, but I'm not going to try to push to get involved with those people. If they say, hey, I want to talk to that rich guy, when they reach out to me and they say, hey, Charlie would like to interview you or something like that, then hell yeah, then that's the universe saying, go do this. But until I'm guided in that direction, no, not going to. Not gonna. It is going to be time for me to go here in a couple of minutes, though, because the kiddos don't have school today. So I'm taking them to daycare. So going to be time to go here in a couple minutes. The girls are doing good. They're doing good. Sleeping on the other side of the bed. Oh, you mean changing your routine? Yeah. Yep. I'm changing my routine, changing it up. Oh, another big thing that I've been doing here lately too. People kept coming to me, moderators kept coming to me. Like, I don't know why some of my moderators like to argue with people in my comments. Like just like to argue with the idiots. For anybody, just not calling out no names or nothing like that. But if anybody moderates, don't waste time arguing with idiots. Don't waste time doing that. Don't waste time. That's the only thing that they're trying to do. That's all they're trying to do is they're trying to stir up shit and piss people off. That's it. That's it. Don't waste time doing that. Don't waste time with them. Block. On to the next one. Block. On to the next one. So one of the things that I've been doing, I've carved out a new chunk of my day to go through my own comment section, and respond to people and stuff like that, because I've just been getting too many messages from moderators and, complaining about idiots in the comments. And it's like, dude, man, we ain't got no time for that. We ain't got no time for that, So, you know what I mean? So that's a new thing about my routine is I have a part of my day, maybe an hour, while I'll go through and dedicate it to nothing but going through the comments. go through the comments, respond to people who are showing love and support. And if I see an idiot, just block them, you know. So anyway, that's one thing that I've been changing up about my routine. Yep. Yeah, there's no, yeah, you don't waste time with those idiots, man. If you think about it, you got to think about it, man. Pull your mind away from the internet. Hang on. Pull your mind away from the internet, and you got to think about who are you wasting your time with? You know what I mean? Who are you wasting your time with? Who are these people that you're wasting your time with? They're miserable, sad, lonely, broken, fucked up people who have nothing better to do. They don't get enough attention. They didn't get enough attention when they were kids, you know. So the only thing that they can do is go try to argue with people and to get eyes on them. Is all they're doing. They're trying to get attention. They're little attention seekers. Don't waste time on that. That is the biggest waste of your time. That's going to get you nowhere. It's not going to accomplish anything. It's not going to solve anything. Just block, 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 block. And one of the things that I noticed too, going through my comments, is there's such a small minority. They only make up like maybe a fraction of 1%. They only make up like a fraction of 1%. Don't waste your time on that, dude. That is the biggest waste of time. The biggest waste of time. Hang on, y'all. That is the biggest waste of time. So anybody, if I know I got a bunch of new moderators on my main channel, and I got a bunch of new ones on here too. Don't do it, man. Don't. It's not. If you, I don't know about any other YouTuber. I don't know about any other YouTuber out there. But at least if you're moderating for one of my channels, please don't waste time with those stupid people. Don't do that. Don't waste time. So anyway, anywho, Facebook is toxic. Well, you know what I've always done, and I still do this, and I very intentionally get the algorithm to work the way that I want it to. So when I get on my Facebook or my Instagram, I don't see no bullshit. I don't see no bullshit, no stupid shit. I've like programmed my brain to where before my conscious awareness is even picks it up, if there's some bullshit, scroll past it, don't see it, or block or unfollow or unfollow this page or unlike this page, to where it's to the point now where when I scroll my Facebook, I don't see nothing but positive, motivational, uplifting content is all I see. And if you go into it with a clear intention like that, then all right, I gotta go, y'all. Hang on. We gotta take the kids to daycare. So I got to get out of here. But anyway, if you go into it with an intention like that, then you can turn it into something that's not so toxic. See what I'm saying? Anyway, I got to get out of here and take the kiddos to daycare. I just figured I'd hop on here for a little bit. It's time for me to go anyway. It's that time anyway. So I will see y'all later on my main channel. All right. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day.